Don't we always?
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Let me see if when we start streaming here, it'll be another second or two. Hey, folks, welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Welcome to the Patron pre-show. I'm your host, Andy HeadHardHat Smith, and I have, well, I don't really have her with me. I have the wonderful, the delightful, the did not hear wife Amy. There we go. We are streaming, and we are just starting up the pre-show. And for the people just coming into this, the pre-show is the show before the show. This is all the interesting information. We test our equipment. We make sure things are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And before we actually do the podcast at 8:30, and a lot of times we get into a lot of discussion about different things going on in wife Amy and my life. And a lot of people, for some silly reason, actually like that. So we get to talk about a lot of different things that happen during the week. And so we're going to be doing that and going from there. But, yes, wife Amy is not here with me in the GeoSnippits studios. She is on location in an undisclosed place. Say hi, wife Amy.
Hi, wife Amy.
How you doing, darling?
I just ate a chocolate chip cookie, so I'm okay.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, wife Amy is actually out right now helping some friends of ours who are out of town, and she's still working things out. You're actually in the chat room?
Yeah, why? Why?
Okay, is the video running in the chat room?
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what I bet you it is. Just stop the video.
No.
It's not? Okay. I'm picking up just a little bit of residual background stuff, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but that's all right. We will make do. I'm just glad you're here.
I know you are.
Yes, because otherwise that just would not be a fun show for the folks listening to just moi.
You would have canceled the show.
I probably would have. I'm a wimp.
You used to do the show by yourself.
I know it, way back when.
What did you do without me?
I tell myself that continuously.
I
do. It's like, what would I do without? So yeah, Miss Amy is in the chat room for you fine folks, and she is out remotely, while I am here in the GeoSnippits studios, and all by myself.
Yes, you are.
And it's like I am coming to the realization that I really can't live without you because it's like really boring. It's like nobody's here. What's the fun in that? I miss the Andy, take out the garbage, Andy. Yeah,
I mean, I could call you and tell you to do that stuff.
Oh, I'm sure you could. It's like, hey, my computer's not working right. Fix it. All right, fine, okay.
Yeah, we had that issue the other night.
Yes.
Because I had schoolwork to do, and it kept telling me, hey, your McAfee has been down for 39 days. And normally I can get that stuff to go away. Right. But it was not going away the other night. I was like, fix it. I have homework to do.
Yes, and actually what it is on her other computer that used to be my computer before it became her computer and died.
Yeah, like died, like black screen of death,
yes.
Beeping died.
Yes. And so we got a new computer for Miss Amy, and she went through and she had like probably a 90-day subscription to McAfee on there, and it ran out. Unbeknownst to her, she was still already on my subscription, so all she had to do is just reload the software and she'd be fine, which is what I did. And so, long story short, too late. It has been resolved.
Yes, it has. All is good in Amy Land again.
Yay, because if Amy ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So, just saying. So I'm trying to look here. What do we have? I'm looking at the important dates coming up. Next weekend.
Well, next weekend's important.
Yes, it is. Because next weekend's CETO.
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out how we're
It's
going to do
4 days
this.
long now.
Yeah, you get up to 4 days. Groundspeak, aka geocaching.com, went out and they made it so that instead of just the weekend, you now have Monday or Friday through Monday, the 24th to the 27th, to get a souvenir by attending a CETO event.
Right.
Now, in normal situations, I would not think that is too much of an issue for wife Amy, but in this particular case, I have my concerns. Wife Amy really loves nature if it wasn't for all those bugs and dirt and critters and things. Otherwise, she would love it. Other than that, yes?
I got to tell you, I'm good as long as it's not the spiders.
Uh-huh.
I'm good.
Well, there's going to be spiders.
And that's why you go first.
To get all the spider webs.
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be one of those things. We got Caching Caroline in the chat room, and she's going to Lake Jordan. That's one of the ones that we're going to as well.
Are we?
Yes. And
see, I never know until the last minute.
And then this one is going to be a little rough because it's pretty much, I wouldn't say solid bushwhack, but there's a lot of bushwhack, and this is going to be we'll be taking it slow if we go, because there's a lot of things to be cautious of out there. Lake Jordan's my first time when I was down here in North Kakalaki. That was the first place that I saw my first copperhead. Was at Lake Jordan. So.
And for some reason, I don't mind snakes.
Yeah.
I just stay away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Drink some for me.
Oh, that's right. You have no coffee. This is another thing. See, there's some things I can get away with tonight that I can't normally get away because of her. Well, let's just face it. She suffers from arm Tourette's. So, it's a little-known fact that when the husband says something stupid, arm Tourette's from the supporting spouse suddenly springs into action and smites thee. And so she is not here.
Smites thee.
Yes.
Wow.
And so since she is out in the netherland out there, she can't smite me as easily, or pinch. That's the other one. She finds that little nice nook of meat right underneath the fat in my arm and goes for that puppy every once in a while. Somebody that goes through and is learning a degree in psychology and anger management.
It's not anger management. I don't know why you keep calling it that.
All right, what is it?
I don't want to say now.
See, because I got it right there anyways, because he goes into resolving conflict.
Yes.
Only she's the most violent person that you can have when you're married to her. I'm sorry, did you just kill somebody? We might as well explain it now.
I was hoping to avoid all of that. There are 12 cats in this house. So at some point there is going to be some conflict.
Like that.
Like that. Yeah.
And you hear,
so if you hear that, that is part of their issue.
Yes, this particular
their
house
issue, not mine, and usually I would yell at them, but I will save y'all.
Yeah, it's not good to do it here. But yes, Amy is literally in a cat house that it's a house with a lot of cats and two.
Yes, they have and 7 of them are their personal cats. 5 of them are fosters, so they are looking for homes. Well, 6 of them are looking for homes. And it is what it is. And
Yes.
two of the animals are Newfoundlands. So.
Yes. And I love the people that they're very close friends of ours. Matter of fact, wife Amy and I are the grandparents / godparents / aunt uncle to the two Newfies that are also there. And Newfoundlands are huge dogs. RJ is about, what, 145, 150, give or take?
Yeah, he's trying to get back up to 150.
He's trying to get back there. And Megan, who is a sweetheart, who I've known since...
Megan is about 130, I think.
Yeah. For a girl, that's a good size Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Anyways, when we go to visit there, I can last about an hour. If you've ever watched the show with us over time since Amy's been in my life, you know that I live in a house with several cats here. And
actually.
Yeah, and I am actually very allergic to cats. And over the past couple of years that we've been married, that's been getting better. But when I go into a house with the number of cats that our friends have, it's bad. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just how it is. It's just the dander with that many cats in a home is just, I can last there an hour, and when I come out, my eyes are like, I just came out of a Rocky movie. And go that way. So that's how it goes.
He'll say, "Hey, you want to go walk the dogs?"
Yes, so that gives me a chance to get outside and breathe.
And they're great people, and they got a heart of gold. And
yes, and all the cats are wonderful. They are very loving, and that's the problem is that there's that many cats that want to come pat me, and I'm like, so.
And they're awesome, but and I love every single one of them. And when I sleep in there, they're like, pin me to the bed because they're all down the side of each side of me, and so
Yes, and there is nothing like having a 130-pound large dog come full bore at you, and total love. I mean, Megan absolutely adores me, and matter of fact, whenever I show up at the front, yard, that's one of them there.
That was hard today.
The owner just lets go of the leash because it's either that or he's going to lose an appendage. And she just comes barreling at me, and she just charges and charges and charges. And about half a foot before she hits me, she falls on the ground and falls right at me. But I've got to remember to duck and kick my feet up. Otherwise, she'll just bowl me right over. And but just gorgeous dogs. Absolutely love them. And they're great animals, but you have to have a special temperament to take care of Newfies. They are gorgeous dogs. They're very docile. They're gentle giants, but you have to love drool. And when I say drool, I'm talking drool. And the first time I met one of the Newfies, literally 2 seconds before he shook his head and literally right down the entire front of me of slime. So I was initiated to the family right then and there, and you gotta love the drool, otherwise you'll never make it. And hair, oh yeah, lots and lots of hair with Newfies, but they are so lovable. They're very, very gentle.
So all that is to say, I cannot promise there's no barking. Obviously, because it's already happened once.
Or altercations with the kitties.
Or altercations with cats.
Yeah, so we will make do.
I apologize for any noise that you guys may hear.
We are just very thankful that wife Amy is with us today.
You're more thankful than anybody else.
Yes, I am.
And apparently RJ is now a goat.
Oh, he's now eating stuff?
Yes, he kept bringing me mail, one piece at a time. And I told his mom, she was texting me from Aruba, and I told her that he was bringing me the mail, sort of, because I'd have to tell him to come here. She said, yes, he is now a goat. Awesome. Just paper.
Yeah.
All right, so that would have been nice to know. So now I have to put all the paper up.
Yes.
So
yes.
he didn't get to it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm not quite sure why. Dogs seem to love paper. Cats love, plastic. They love chewing on pyro, whatever it is.
Megan had a toilet paper fetish when she was a puppy.
Yes, I remember that.
Because she'd come running out of the bathroom with the end of the roll of the toilet paper in her mouth. Proud. I'm like, no!
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, lots of fun. Lots of fun. So, yeah, we got a great show for you tonight. This is a good show that if you're a geocacher, I don't care if you're experienced or not, you've got these gadgets, gizmos, and other things that you keep in your Batman geocaching utility belt to go out geocaching, because you come up to some very interesting and weird situations where it's like, it would have been really nice if I had this. And if you geocache for a period of time, your pack starts accumulating all these little gadgets and gizmos and niceties and that. We're going to go over a lot of those tonight. If you've got stuff that you want to bring up as a suggestion, please either bring it up in the chat room. Wife Amy is monitoring from, I don't know how you're doing it with one computer. You got 2 screens up at a time there, Dallin?
I'm just that good, babe.
You are. Plus show notes. So this is good.
Stuff going on here.
You are good. Now you're getting the idea. This is now you see what it's fun that we do with that. But yeah, we've got lots of gadgets, gizmos. If you've got suggestions of items that are absolutely must-haves that other people may not even know of, by all means, please let us know. No matter how strange it sounds, because whatever happens when it comes to things like this, somebody's going to go, wow, that was a really great idea. And the idea is to pull a couple of little golden nuggets out of this tonight. If you're experienced, you'd probably have a lot of the stuff that we have here. And I've got a lot of show and tell stuff that I'm going to show as we actually go on tonight. But you fine folks, either feel free to bring it up into the chat room or the question and answer area, and we will go from there. So, matter of fact, that reminds me, I got to get up something here as we do this. And this just needs to get set up. There we go. All right, so that part's set up. Awesome. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. Not too much geocaching this week, though. I got some interesting things for my lunchtime geocaches, which was fun. Because if you saw my blog, Geocache, I'm Not Obsessed, right? We have one of the entries I had. I went out for a lunchtime geocache, and this scenario. If you've geocached for any length of time, you get into this thing where you go geocaching, and somebody, a muggle, is sitting either on or 5 feet from ground zero. So you have to sit there and you have to make that decision of, do I just leave? Do I go find another one? Now, see, during lunchtime, I get one shot. If I can't find the geocache that I'm looking for, I have to go get my lunch after that, or I'm not going to eat that time, and that's never good. So if I don't find the geocache in a relatively short amount of time, I'm pretty much done for that afternoon. So I'm sitting there, and there's a person. Ground Zero has a series of some little sit-down benches, which is very picturesque. There's a little plant there. It's just made for to be a nice, cozy spot to just sit. And Ground Zero is right there. There's a plant right there. And it's on kind of a medium grass in between 2 companies. And somebody is cutting the grass on that medium. So I'm like, okay, how long is this going to take for them to actually do this? So I gave it a few minutes, and they're still cutting. It's just taking too long. So I'm like, okay, why don't I play I'm just going to sit down at this nice little picturesque spot and look at my phone and go that way because it's a nice place to do this. Fine. So I go over there, I sit down. I'm looking at the phone, and she comes by and she's grinning. And I'm like, okay, she either knows what this is and knows where it is, or I'm just that cute. One of the two, I'm not quite sure. So I'm sitting there, and she turns around and starts walking the next, path swipe, and she mouths out, "The geocache is mine." And I went, okay. And she did the final bit of cutting there, and I started looking at the geocache. When she was done, she came back and came over and introduced herself, and we just started talking about the geocache and how long she'd been geocaching since, I think it was 2004. So she's been in it a long. She's not an extensive geocacher where she's doing a ton every year, but she keeps at it. And so yeah, we were just talking about having, her putting it there and why she put it there and all the rest of the fun stuff, because it used to be in a different spot, but it got muggled all the time, that kind of thing. And for me, it's always very enjoyable meeting up with the cache owners for things like that. So yeah, that was good. We had a good time talking, and it was literally one of those, I gotta go, and away we went. But it's always fun to meet geocache owners when you go into that, because they have a lot of information that you hear other geocachers talk as well. Things getting muggled, better ways of hiding it so other people don't find it, that kind of fun stuff. And it was a lot of fun. But that was my geocaching experience for this week. The rest of it, I think, with wife Amy, we just went out and did some Ingress stuff.
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
I can't nudge her now since she's not here. So when she gets,
I know. I'm sorry. What did we do? We went to the park.
Yep.
And
Why don't we tell why we?
Yep. Because he was tired of me being at a level 4.
No, I meant why we went to the park first. Lake Benson.
Oh, to walk our 3 miles.
Yeah, we're getting ready we've got 2 5Ks.
We got 2
coming.
5Ks that we're getting ready to do.
Yep, and then we're getting ready for that, and so we were doing some practice runs because two full laps around Lake Benson here in North Kakalaki is exactly a little over 3 miles.
Yes,
so,
it's almost a 5K, so we've got to figure out how many more places we can walk to get a 5K, but
it won't take much.
No, it wouldn't take much. It's like a 1/10 of a mile, but
yep.
So we did that. So that was good. Yeah.
And then we went off to one of my favorite stomping grounds for Ingress, where there's about 30 portals there. And,
easily.
Yeah. And we've been wanting. I'm up to and I'm up to level 7 in Ingress, and trying to shoot my darndest to get to level 8. I'm about halfway between 7 and 8, and we wanted to get Miss Amy up to level 5 as well. So we went out there and did a lot of reconnaissance work and adding resonators and building fields. And the other thing was because she's realized that you can't go out play Ingress with 4 resonators and 2 XP bomb bursters and play much. You have to go out and find equipment, is what they're called. And so she did a lot of hacking.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. Level 5, so that's awesome.
Yep. So periodically I'll stop and hack something and get some more stuff, and of course every time he gets in the car he's turned the thing on and all the way around our elbow to get to anywhere because there's a portal somewhere. So
we're terrible about this because we'll sit there and it's terrible. We'll sit there and we'll go after the same portal when we're
yeah, we do that.
And we click the hack at the exact same time, seeing who's going to actually get the goodies. And that's funny. So yeah, we're not competitive at all when it comes.
It's usually me.
Yes.
He's like, really? Yeah, you're
Yep.
too slow.
Thanks. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and
Yes,
so
Eileen.
we got her up to level 5, so she's an agent at level 5. So this will be good.
Yes.
She's a rockin'. But yeah, good stuff.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think any other stuff. Okay, so we talked about CETO being in April 24th to the 27th. The other one, the following weekend, is a biggie as well if you're in the hunt of souvenirs. The 15 years of geocaching is May 2nd and May 3rd by finding any geocache or attending any geocaching event on those 2 days. And you get a new digital souvenir for that one as well. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. And then we got, we got Geo Woodstock coming up. We can't.
I am so excited about that. I got to tell you, because that's going to be my first Geo Woodstock.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Matter of fact, we're going to be contacting Brian. Let's see, the last time they were on Podcaster, I think was this last week. Sonny actually broke up the interview that he did with them for 2 weeks. And I think he just wrapped up the second part this week. So I'm going to give Brian a call and see if there's anything extra that he needs to shout out to the people. I don't think they're going to make Giga.
Yeah.
They went out. I tested out the numbers that they had at least on the geocaching.com website, and they've got about 2,000 that are in there. So that's not even half what they need. So I'm thinking it's not going to make Giga. I think they did a great try for it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a good if you try type thing. They just need to get, I think, a lot more people. There's going to be a ton there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't 4,000 people at this event. But getting people to register and all the rest of that stuff, that's a different thing here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I know in Europe they can pull them out, but you got Europe. I mean, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, there is.
And with the United States being as big as it is and spread out as it is, it's a much more difficult, I think, to get people to try to get into one spot. So I don't know. We'll see. I am very much looking forward to it, and we are going to be posting out starting in about another week or so. We're going to have little updates that we'll have on the websites of Miss Amy and I getting ready for going out there. We've got a cartoon that we use for bit strips that we're going to slowly add on to until we get up to Geo Woodstock and get out there to it. And if you are going to Geo Woodstock, please be sure to go through and say hi to us, because we greatly appreciate it, and we love talking to you fine folks and matching the names with the faces that we talk to each and every week. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And try to look at anything else. All right, we got about another 2 minutes that we've got going on. You all set on your end, Miss Amy?
I think so. I just got kisses from one of the cats.
You got kisses from a cat?
Yes.
Awesome.
Kim swears out hates her. So I think we're good.
All right, which one was that? Is that Ethel? Which cat was the one that?
No, that was Eileen.
Or Eileen, that's the other one. Okay.
Yeah, Eileen. Eileen is their Maine Coon.
Right.
And Eileen, Kim swears out that she's only nice to her when she's sick.
Well, there you go.
Yes. And if anything happens to Kim and David while they're on their cruise, we will be getting Eileen.
Oh, no doubt. Now, one of the things that our friends have, they have a lot of cats, but they have a lot of black cats. And
yes, they do.
We love them. They are awesome cats, and they foster. And I just noticed I have a nut in my microphone thing here. Oh well, I'll have to make do. Anyways, the cats. Some are obviously a lot more affectionate than others, but there's been a bunch of them that they've had for fosters that have been just completely unbelievable. All right, you got that look like they're doing something.
She's over there talking.
Oh, I was
looking at me and talking to me. I'm sorry.
What is this strange lady doing there? Hang on for a second. This knot's driving me crazy in my cord. I'll be hand.
See, I knew you'd never be able to get through with it.
Hey, whatever she wants, and I can't hear her. So, there we go. Otherwise, that would have driven me completely insane.
It's driven, and yes.
Alrighty. I have no idea what she says, so that's all right. I am afraid now. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
All right.
It is 8:30. I know we've got a lot of people out there that are wanting to know who won the HeadHardHat's quiz score prize and what it is. So we've got all that. We've got prizes from the Cash Stash. The prize for the Cash Stash, if you didn't see on the social media, it is gorgeous, and you're going to love it. And so we got a lot of goodies to give out, a lot of things to talk about, and a lot of good information coming your way. Miss Amy, are you all ready? As she looks at me. Are you ready?
I said yes.
Okay, I didn't hear you. You break up.
Okay.
She is unfortunately in an area that doesn't download 7 gigawatts of information like here. So that's sometimes things are going to break up a little bit on her end. I'm just glad you're here, darling. All right, let's do this thing. As the man goes over here and remembers to push the button. This is always good. All right, let's do this thing. The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is a proud member of the TED. Let's try take 2.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Suffering fuckatash. The GeoSnippets Reboot Podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Well, hello, and welcome. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. I'm your host, Andy, HeadHardHat Smith, and I am here, kinda, sorta. I hear her voice, but I don't see her. It's a ghost. Wife Amy, the HeadHardHatress, who is not currently in the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast studios. She is out remotely in places unknown. Are you even in the state, darling? As she looks back at me. I love it. There's a little bit of a breakout. So where are you roughly?
I am about 45 minutes away from you.
Wow. And your absence is breaking my heart that you're so far away. And
I know Emmy misses me.
yes, I'm sure the dog misses you. The cats did until I fed them.
Yeah.
After that, they were fine. So wife Amy's out helping some friends of ours who are roughing it in Aruba.
Yeah, no kidding.
And she's watching their animals for, which includes 2 large newfies and in a whole house full of cats.
Apparently, the husband just won an ABBA trivia.
ABBA?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
ABBA's awesome.
We'll leave that right there. Anyways, Fernando, it is April 16th, 2015. In the next hour or so, both co-host Amy, the HeadHardHatress, and I will bring you some interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, yes, the obsession known as geocaching. So yeah, Amy is off in another place that unfortunately doesn't have the greatest Wi-Fi, but we are making do tonight. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. And I am so glad that she is there, because otherwise you guys would just have to listen to me drone through stuff. That's never fun. And but I have to admit, I don't miss the armed Tourette's, and I got all this space to do stuff. It's awesome.
Me too.
So it's a mutually cool thing. That's a lot of fun. Let's see. This week I was able to go out. We were talking about some of this in the pre-show. I did go out and do some lunchtime geocaches. If you check out my blog, Geocache, I'm Not Obsessed, right? If you check that out, you'll see that while going for one of my lunchtime geocaches, met up with a cache owner who, if you've ever been in that wonderful situation where you are out and you're looking at ground zero and a muggle is like standing on the spot or a couple of feet from ground zero, that was what's very similar to what I had with her, only she was cutting the grass. Long story short, met up with her, had a great discussion, and got a smiley. So that was a lot of fun. Plus lunch. That's the important thing. So had a good time with that, Miss Amy. How about yourself? I don't think we did too much geocaching together this week. Weather's been kind of rough.
We did some ingressing, but that's about it.
Yeah, I went out. We went practicing for our. We've got 2 5K walks that we're going to be doing in the month of May. So we were out getting into that and had no problem. We had a good time with that. And then went out and did some ingressing. And White Amy is now at level 5 for Ingress. So that is awesome. Mm-hmm. She is almost all powerful, which she is. Anyways, I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so she is local someplace, and she actually is monitoring the chat room. So if you have anything that you want to bring up about tonight's subject, which we'll be talking about, it's going to be talking about TOTTs, TOTTs. That's tools of the trade.
Actually, we're talking about ABBA.
Well, yeah, that was ABBA, but that's a whole different subject.
Yeah.
Take a chance. Anyways, so yes we're going to move on into other goodies. Miss Amy, why don't you tell the fine folks about next weekend coming up?
Next weekend's going to be really awesome. It is a 4-day weekend of nothing but CETO.
Yes.
You got 4 days, April 24th through the 27th. So you can sign up all 4 days if you want to, or not.
As long as you get one.
As long as you get one, you're good.
Yep, attend the CETO event and you get a souvenir for this year. I think we're actually signed up for 2. That's one for Saturday, one for Sunday.
Dude, you really should tell me this stuff.
Details, you know? Just saying.
You really, really should.
That's why I waited till you got there, honey. So that's how that goes.
I'm going to make Megan bite you.
Yeah, right. Megan is a sweetheart of a 130-pound Newfoundland who I have known since a pup, and we are very close. And
she wouldn't bite anything other than her food.
Yeah, well, that's besides the point. She's a sweetheart.
To death.
Yep, she is a sweetheart. So yeah, you say, hey, how can I get more of this fun? How can I see more aggravation on Amy's face as Andy tells her these things? That's what happens when you don't attend the meetings. I'm just saying. So
no, it is not. People talk.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to be sleeping on the couch and she's not even here. As Taz puts it, virtual jab to the ribs. Thanks, Taz. Arm threats. So, anyways, how can you watch all this craziness each and every week? It's very simple. To watch the live feed and join us in the chat room by going to geosnippets.com on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Pre-show starts at 8 o'clock. That's the show before the show. We also have our social media links, including for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel via the geosnippets.com website. Just go over to the right-hand side, click subscribe to YouTube, and anytime we do a vlog, a podcast, anything that deals with YouTube, you'll instantly go into your subscribe area, and you don't have to go searching for it. It'll be right there for your convenience. So it's very, very handy. I highly recommend that you subscribe to YouTube. And also, please, please, please get us in your Google Plus circles. We put out polls now each week. We do do a lot of discussion when it comes to shows and getting information from geocachers, and a lot of that comes through Google+. So if you'd add wife Amy and myself to your circles, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you go on again on our websites like geosnippets.com, go up there and you'll see all our social media links. Just click on there and subscribe to us. We'd greatly appreciate it. Finally, we have our voicemail line where you can call in your comments, your questions, your suggestions, your milestones. Calling 919-341-9519, or you do not have to worry about phone charges and go directly to www.geosnippets.com and select on the right-hand side of the screen our Send Voicemail tab. Right there you can record your voicemail via computer or tablet or your smartphone, and basically you get 3 minutes to talk about any kind of milestone that you'd like, and deemed worthy, we will put it onto the show because we love hearing from you guys and putting that information for everybody else to understand. In fact, Miss Amy, we have ourselves some viewer feedback. Why don't we go over that?
Yes, we do. He says, hey, Andy and Amy, this is Retro. I just wanted to share a milestone with you. On April 4th, I hosted my first event, GC5 NAWM Vancouver Art Gallery Meet and Greet. Being my first event, I wanted it to be unique. So at 2 p.m., I invite cachers out for your standard meet and greet with a twist. After my event, there would be another event people had the option of attending, an international pillow fight flash mob, but that's not the twist. The twist is that the pillow fight ended up happening right at my event location, accidentally. And here's why. My event was at the north end of the art gallery. The pillow fight was supposed to happen on the south end of the art gallery. But because of a number of geocachers that attended my event, which was over 30, people thought my location was ground zero for the pillow fight. Oops. Needless to say, at exactly 3 p.m., all heck broke out and the feathers flew. We even had a fellow geocacher rent a yellow chicken costume for the event. He was an instant hit, literally. Everyone went after him, Chicken Man. He was such a good sport about it. He even got asked by muggles to get their pictures taken with him. What a trooper. To conclude, my event was an overwhelming success, and I've even been asked to make it an annual event, which I think I will. Retro, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Awesome. Yeah, that's nothing like a flash mob pillow fight. That's awesome.
That is cool.
That is an awesome idea. That is an awesome idea. I love that. Thank you, Retro. That was fantastic, and thanks for sending in your feedback. We greatly appreciate it. All right, that is awesome. Let's see. Our GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast Geocaching Poll of the Week. Each week we send out actually a couple of polls that we put through Google+. We have been getting a tremendous response. Lots and lots of polls come into this thing. And this week's poll was a doozy, and let me bring it up here on my part here. Here it is. This is controversial, and I put it out there just because it's controversial. And so here's how it goes. This is live right now. How with it, just as if you were doing it with me. How many geocaches found should a geocacher have under their belt before placing geocaches themselves? It even says, we know this is a controversial subject, and that's why we are asking your opinion. Appreciate your thoughts. Now, here's the results. I'll tell you them as they go from lowest to highest. The lowest amount at 8%, and like I said, this is probably one of the largest pollings we've had, so we've had hundreds of people put this in. Hide anytime, no experience necessary, came in at 8%. Coming in next at 12%, pass a geocaching certificate test first. I honestly thought that would be more popular than that. In other words, the idea is before you actually put out your first geocaching hide, you have a little test that you have to answer to show that you know what you're talking about, to go that way. 12% came in on that one. The next one was 16% at greater than 25 finds before you place your first geocache. Next was greater than 50 finds, coming in at 24%, and an overwhopping 40% went to over 100 finds before putting out a geocache. That means if you total just over 50 finds and over 100 finds, that's 64% of the people saying that at least 50 finds should be necessary before that goes out. That is a huge chunk, and this was a great set of polling with this. So we had a lot of people put in their votes. So that's the poll that we had for this. We're going to have a poll each and every week. We will send out each week through my Google Plus stream a poll, and you can also find out on the GeoSnippits website. We'll put out there so you can get your opinion in as well. So what do you think, Miss Amy? That was an interesting set of results.
Yeah, and I have no problem with people having 50 finds or more. 50 finds, I still think people should have a mentor.
Yes, and this actually came up in the discussion. We could do a whole show on what people wrote with this. And just to give you a glimpse into a lot of the things, because there were a lot of people's opinions in this, and this is exactly what we wanted. And we will probably use that in a future show. The idea came up a lot. You can go out on a large geo trail and get 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000 finds in a day or two, if you do it right. So the number of finds necessarily does not mean giving you the
their quality
to put it out. The quality finds, I think, is the qualifier that needs to put into that. An assortment of quality finds would be what you have in that. The other thing that was highly recommended was at the very least, if you're going to put out a geocache hide, get with a geocacher who is experienced as a mentor to say, hey, am I doing this right? Am I forgetting something? Is there something that I should be more cognizant of, and go that way? So that way they can get the viewpoint and the experience from an experienced geocacher before they put that out. If they do that a couple of times, that will eliminate the majority, I think, of the complaints of new geocachers.
And honestly, I think we're asking the wrong question.
Okay.
I think we should be asking how many hides should you have before you are required to use a mentor.
That's an interesting way of putting it. So you're saying that you should have between your first 10 geocaching hides, you should have a mentor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an interesting way of looking at it. If you
I mean, why not? Because if you've got if you've got 5,000 finds, but they're all power trails.
Yeah.
You have absolutely no idea what it takes to hide a quality.
Right. And you are always going to have,
right?
Yes, you're always going to have the situation of some people that just don't get it. No matter how many hides they put, they don't get it. So you get extremes with that as well.
Yeah, but you're always going to have extremes regardless.
Yes, I agree.
And that's why you have leaders.
Good discussion. We'd like to find what you find folks think in this particular case as well. Please get in touch with us through our send voicemail tab. Send us an email to HeadHardHat at GeoSreboot at gmail.com and go that way. And we will be more than glad to bring this up in another discussion, because this is always a very controversial and talkative discussion with that. So very, very good stuff. Thank you, folks, for participating with that. And again, we've got a new and interesting poll going out each and every week. Let's move on. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by Cache-Advance.com for all your geocaching needs. Cache-Advance.com, go find it.
And also by coinsandpins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. go through our GeoSnippits links and use the promo code HeadHardHat for a 10% discount. And FYI, for their newsletter to get notified when new coins are packed.
Awesome. Hey, honey.
We're also very thankful to all of our sponsors. If you want to see more of their products, be sure to go and click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Awesome. Hey, when you talk, Amy, could you go just a little bit closer to the camera, because I think you're kind of getting a little more of a talking in a coffee can thing when you back up like that.
Okay.
There we go. Just saying. Thank you, hon. All right, now, for the people that are wondering, we have, last week we had HeadHardHat's quiz number 3 when it comes for geocaching, and we have a winner. We got a record amount of entries coming in, and quite frankly, the score didn't mean anything. It was getting your entry in, that you took the quiz, and you were put into a drawing for a prize. And Miss Amy, if you would tell them what it is, I will pull it. I will bring that out right here.
I'm sorry. Tell you what?
What the prize is?
All right. From GX Proxy Ground Zero flashlight and Red Proxy T-shirt trackable.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is one of those, and I love these. I have several of them. This is the Ground Zero flashlight from GX Proxy. It has several different flashlights on it. It has a magnetic back. It's got a hook on the top of it. This is fantastic for going out doing nighttime caches or just anything at night. It is extremely bright, very powerful, and a very, very cool flashlight to have in your geocaching pack. And also, this is really neat, too. I forgot I had these. I was looking around in the cache stash area, and we have an item that is a trackable from GX Proxy, and it is a red GX Proxy T-shirt made out of that really cool plastic that they make their badges and a lot of other things out of. On the back, it literally says Trackable T-shirt Proxy, and it literally has it's a trackable that can go out just like a geocoin. So this is really cool. You get both of these for the winner of the HeadHardHat quiz number 3. And we did the polling just to cut down on some time, literally just before the pre-show. And we want to do a congratulations to everybody, and thank you for everybody that sent in your entries. Like I said, we had a record amount that got sent back into her. Congratulations goes out to Vel, and I want to say Kientz. I'm going to spell the last name. So it's Vel, V-E-L, last name K-I-E-N-I-T-Z, from St. Charles, Michigan. And I actually know where that is. I grew up in southeastern Michigan, and it's up towards Saginaw Way is up where St. Charles, Michigan is. Val wrote, I got a pitiful 10 points, but fun taking the quiz anyways. Thank you so much. So thank you, Val. That was awesome. We have your address, Val, and we are going to send those out to you as soon as possible. So those will be going out to you. Congratulations for the winner for the HHH's geocaching quiz number 3. Number 4 will be showing up probably in about 3 or 4 months. So start getting ready for your questions, because next time we'd like you guys to send in some questions for the quiz and see if how that goes that way. I get nothing but great responses for people with loving our quiz. We don't want the quiz to be too easy. We don't want it to be too hard. We want it to be just right. And we're getting really good responses for that. So thank you all for participating. That was a lot of fun. Let's move on. Yee-haw! Yip, yip, yip. Geocaching Tools of the Trade, GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, episode 109. Tonight's episode is really, you can get some nice golden nuggets when it comes to what you want to have in your geocaching backpack. So a lot of times when people start out geocaching, you have the basics. You have your GPS or your smartphone, you've got your pen, and you go out and it's like, okay, let's go geocaching. and then it happens. You start getting into situations where, wow, that geocache is way back there. How am I supposed to get that? Or, wow, it's down there. How am I supposed to get it from there? There's just a zillion different things. Sometimes you might even have something in a situation with, well, this bison tube won't open because it seems like it's jammed. How am I going to get this open so I can sign the log? There is a plethora of different types of tools of the trade with the acronym TOTT that you can develop over time as you become a more experienced geocacher. So we thought we would help you by telling you some of the ones that people have suggested over time of items to have in your geocaching backpack and your tool of the trade. Now, for the people out there right now, I am going to turn on the question and answer area for here. So if you look at the bottom of the video and it says click here to put in a question and answer, if you click on there, you can put in what you have as a suggestion of an item that you think geocachers will need. And don't think, well, this is going to sound stupid, because every idea you have, somebody else, I guarantee, needed it. And so don't be afraid of what weird gizmo that you have that you want to put up as a suggestion. Miss Amy is also looking at the chat room, and she'll be bringing that up as well. Now, let me give you a real quick example of what I mean by weird. When I first started geocaching, my first event that I ever went to, met a couple who had been geocaching a lot. Matter of fact, at one time, they were the leading geocachers in the world at the time, and went to an event. They were sitting down. I introduced myself, and they said, the one gentleman pointed to his pocket where he had a little pocket protector there with a bunch of little gizmos in it. And he pulled out a fork, plastic fork. And he said, "Son, do you know what this is used for?" And I tried not to be the smart aleck that I normally am. And I said, "No, sir, what would you use that for?" And he said, "This is used for geocaching, because when you go out geocaching in this particular area, there's a lot of these long-needled burrs that get into your clothes and into your socks, and they hurt. And if you try pulling them out with your fingers, you can really get zapped with those things, and they hurt a lot. If you take this fork and slide it in between the burr and pop it right off, they come out real easy." And ever since then, I have had a fork in my pack because I have run across those as well. So nothing you can say that's going to be weird. There's always a gadget and a use for it, and that's the whole point with that tonight. And we are going to run this. There is an extensive list, and we're going to go through as many as we can without going too far over. We're going to have a lot of these in our show notes, so you can go through and talk with that. And I've got a lot of show and tell items that I can show for if you're watching the video. So if you're very interested in what these items actually look like and you're listening to the podcast, go to YouTube and check out of HeadHardHat's YouTube channel. Check out 109. And you'll be able to see this episode and actually see the items as we're describing them on the video. We'll try talking about it as much as we can, but sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words, as it would. All right, let's start off, Miss Amy. Why don't we do some of the first ones?
All right. The first one is a high-power flashlight. The cheap ones just don't cut it.
Yeah, now this is actually, I have a pen light that I have had. I don't even know if this works anymore. These little... The old bulbs before LEDs. Before we had LEDs, kids, we had these regular light bulbs. These are okay in a pinch. Usually had 2 AA batteries that were in them. Gave some light. And most time what would happen is you would keep this in your pack, and about 3 months later you got that dim yellow light that comes out because that's all it has left energy-wise. They weren't very efficient. Nowadays, we've got LEDs that will light up Cleveland. And they have some have one LED, some have many. This one is half the size of what the older lights were. Extremely light, very comfortable. This one actually comes from GX Proxy. They've got many different selections. A lot of our sponsors have different selections of flashlights. and you have to have a couple of these. The batteries last forever. Matter of fact, a lot of these just have one, maybe two batteries, and they last forever, and they are extremely bright. This I would have no problem being out on the trail just about anywhere and not being afraid of, sticking my foot in a hole or something like that and not be able to use it. Flashlights are essential. And the main thing is not necessarily if you're going to do nighttime geocaching, but if you're out at a trail at dusk and you are a mile or two out, and the next thing you know, the sun's going down, and this is the only thing that you have in your pack, you want to have a good flashlight in there so that you're able to get back safely. Because there is nothing worse than being out on a trail system, especially a trail system you don't know, and no light. So good thing to have with there. Another one, good old common sense. Extra clothes. Like, say, for example, extra socks. Gee, I don't know. I've seen a geocacher or two get their feet wet while geocaching. It happens a lot. And so having extra clothes with you, especially extra socks, if you're on a hike, nothing worse than having wet socks and another 4 miles to walk. So having something like that in your pack is awesome. This next item, no, I don't have any here with me, but I had most of these are viewer suggestions that people have sent over time. Another one is good old-fashioned diapers. You never think about it, especially if you have kids. A lot of times you're in a rush and you're going out someplace. I have been told by several family members, not personal family members, but members who have families that go out geocaching, and say, there are times where you really just needed that extra diaper in your pack because of the circumstances of whatever happens at the time. So one of the things that they said, please make sure you mention to other people, especially if you're starting off with a family that you're going out with, or you have family members who are infants out there with you, have some extra diapers. I have also been told the cloth diapers, if you can still get them, make great hand towels. So just...
Wipes are actually a good idea to carry regardless.
Yes. Because you got your cuts, your scrapes, your dirty hands for whatever. So, excellent. Pens. There are tons of them to have. And why is it every time I go, my pack doesn't have any? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Have a lot of them. Go to a dollar store. Get a couple of packs where you've got about 30 of them. You might have one left that by the time you go out geocaching and realize, because for some reason they disappear. They just go. So having different type of pens. Space pens are awesome.
I think it's Amy.
Yes, our dog taking them. I'm sure it is. Space pens are great. Our sponsors carry those as well. They are great. They write in any different direction, which comes really in handy, because one of the things to ask you fine folks, when you're out there trying to write on a log, what do you use for the back to write on them? A lot of people used to use their GPS unit, and they would use that to put the log down and write for to have some backing with it. What do you use now? Because a lot of the smartphones have those weird textures and for the cases and stuff. So just something to think about. Your pens, the better they write, the easier it is to write the logs. Towels kind of fall under the same suggestion as the towelettes or the diapers. They are awesome to have when you need them. You never know. You always have certain circumstances where you need to wipe something down or to clean out a dirty, wet geocache. That comes in handy for those as well.
And cloth diapers actually make a good hand towel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Some of the other ones that we have for here, and if we're going fast, like I said, we got an extensive list to go through here. Showing up on the video, a carabiner. These are awesome, and not only because you can hook your keys to them and hook it to the back of your belt loop, and they're great for that. This was also from a pet owner that told me about carabiners. These are excellent when it comes for dog leashes. That you put this through the loop of the end of the dog leash, you wrap it around a tree, and you click it, and it's very easy so that the dog stays where he or she is supposed to and isn't running around while you're trying to search for the geocache. And it takes one click and the leash is off. So I thought that was an awesome idea. Miss Amy, how about the next one?
Bug spray. You should always have bug spray.
Yeah, DEET is that it's the lesser of two evils when it comes to something like this. The only thing that we recommend, and you get this on any warning label for bug spray in of itself, if you have small children, be extremely careful when it comes to any type of bug spray with DEET. It can damage the eyes, cause injury, and you end up spending some time in the emergency room for something like that. Be very careful. Depending on where you live, certain amounts of DEET tend to work with certain insects better. Taz 427 was saying the 40% in Brazil just wasn't cutting it, and they had to go to a much higher level because of the type of bugs that are there. I know in North Carolina, when it comes to certain ticks and things like that, a 40% is not going to do it. You need to have a heavier one, but if you have children or making sure that you personally do not wipe the DEET into your eyes, be very careful with bug spray. You need to have it. You need to keep them off, but your eyesight's important. So just keep that in mind when you're using bug spray. Some sort of snack?
Yes, and the sunscreen also goes along with bug spray. My wife wanted to mention that too.
Oh, awesome! Thank you very much. Yes, sunscreen is awesome
for the kids as well,
or your dog, or you. So
yes, your dog as well. That's absolutely a good point.
Yep, absolutely. Some sort of snack, and the idea is very simple. Two things that you always want to consider when you are out into the wilderness on your geocaching adventures. One, keep hydrated. Make sure you have water. Two, make sure you have some kind of protein type snack with sugars. So your power bars, your different type of fruit snacks, your different type of things like that. Anything that's going to give you some little bit of energy to keep you going when you're out on the trail is very helpful. Some bars are more good for you than others. So kind of check out the ingredients and what you want to have ingested when you eat. But having some type of food out there with you that does not, get messed up because of heat or the elements, that you always want to keep something like that in your pack.
There's a turkey jerky that they make. It's high in protein. You also want to make sure you have some carbs as well. So you got the protein and the energy stuff too.
Right. So, granola bars are great. Jerky's awesome.
Yeah, I love jerky.
They're like Twinkies. They last forever. They just go that way.
Yeah.
Rope or twine is always a good thing to have with you because you just never know. You just never know. There are times where there are emergency situations where you might need it. Something as simple as, oops, I dropped it into the drain. So that's a lot of times with twine, having a little magnet, having paper clips, having all sorts of things so that you can snag said geocache out of the abyss is always helpful when it comes to twine. Gloves, there are different types. I have here with me the standard variety work gloves that I have. There are gloves out there that are so sensitive that you can actually feel through them, textures, things like that. A lot of times when you do, absolutely with CTO events, have gloves. Matter of fact, in most places, if the CTO is well stocked, they will actually provide the gloves for you. Just double check with the event person before you actually go to make sure that you at least have a pair of gloves when you go out doing CTO, because you can get messed up that way, and you don't want to get hurt, you don't want to get scraped, you don't want to get bit. And having heavy-duty gloves for something like that works great. The other part is for the more gentle touch of getting a geocache out of something that it's going to be strong enough that if a spider bite or something like that, it'll prevent, and yet it's still flexible enough for you to get the geocache. So find the gloves, and usually it's more than one type of pair that works out for people in cases like that. Miss Amy, next.
Hiking stick.
Yes, hiking sticks are awesome. When employed, and I'm reading the show notes on how the person actually put in here, employed as a long-distance pokey device. Yeah, there's a lot of times where you come up to a snake or some other little critter, and the only thing between you and them is usually a hiking stick to do that. It's not to hurt them, it's just to make sure that they stay aback while you flee, usually like me, like a little girl. So the idea is a hiking stick is great for checking things out, for searching. Now, one of the things that you have to be careful for, and I have seen geocachers in the past do this, and it drives me crazy. If you're going to poke into an area that you think the geocache is, be gentle. Don't be stabbing at it like you're trying to gore a bull or something. Be careful when you go to poke, because a lot of times, especially in the colder months, and it's like a lock and lock box, that plastic becomes very brittle. So if you're poking at it like you're trying to chop through ice, it's going to go through that container pretty easy and break it. It doesn't take much to tap, and you hear that clunk sound when you hit that ammo box, or you hear that thud when you hit plastic, that you don't have to stab at it like you're trying to punch through ice, because you don't want to damage the geocache. Just a little advice that way. Pliers on any Leatherman. Let's see. I've got several Leatherman here that we have. These are little ones. This one is actually a trackable. One of our sponsors has for that. A Leatherman is an absolute, in my mind, necessity that you keep every time you go geocaching. The nice thing is there are little devices. It's a multi-tool. But if you get the one that has the pliers, they're awesome for those bison tubes that are too tight, or to go in and reach for something and pull it out. These are awesome for something like that. And again, you've got the ability to have all the other little multi-tool features that a Leatherman will go with that. Now, on the flip side, because I can hear you already, Swiss Army knife people, there are Swiss Army knives that also have a zillion features to them. You can get the ones that are a couple of bucks to the ones that are $100 and have everything, including laser beams and satellite direction. So, you pick your poison when it comes to your Leatherman. It's just a very, very handy tool to have with you at all times where you're out geocaching, because you just never know. All right, Miss Amy, how about the next couple?
A boat. Somebody used that a couple times.
Yep. It's not something that you have all the time, but in the area like we have here, we have several lakes that people love kayak geocaching. Now, granted, it's a real bummer trying to get that in and out of your backpack, but when you're out geocaching, having a boat is awesome to get into some areas and some islands that you just don't normally have. That was a viewer's suggestion for that to have as well in your repertoire. Water we already talked just a little while ago. The next one is, I think, should fall under the must-have if you've ever had to roll up a nano 7 or 8 times because it doesn't fit in the lid. That is a log roller. Several of our sponsors have these as well. Basically what it is, it's a little wooden handle that has 2 little pieces of metal that are close together. The idea is very simple. All you have to do is take the end of the log, put it in between the 2 pieces of metal, and twist. And next thing you know, you get this very nice, tight little log that will fit into that nano instead of that 12th time you tried and still can't get it tight enough. I'm just saying. So log rollers are awesome when it comes for something like that. Let's see. Fork or ice pick. Let's see. I'm trying to look at what it has in here. basically with something like that, what they said is useful when a cache is in a recess and there is no way I'm sticking my hand in a hole here in Texas. So you know how that goes. So yeah, the other idea is use HeadHardHat's #1 rule, poke it with a stick, and before you stick your hand where it's supposed to. Another one, good old-fashioned tweezers. These are awesome. Bison tubes, nanos, or that little geocache that's just out of finger reach. Tweezers are awesome to have for a case like that because it just makes it a whole lot easier to get those logs out. Another little trick that I've heard and seen many times is if you use a pin needle when it comes to getting out those logs. Those work very well. I'm trying to think of a couple other things. Miss Amy, anything else come to mind?
One of those little grabber things with the fingers on the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay, you broke up a little bit there.
And the little
Yep. Hang on, hon, because you're doing Cylons from my end. So hang on for just a sec. So yeah, anything that's easier for getting the logs out is awesome for something like that. Matter of fact, if you want to help out geocachers very easily, if you're a cache hider and you're doing a bison tube, take part of a matchstick, glue it to the end of the log before you put it out. When the glue dries, roll it up and then put it into the bison tube. One, it makes it very easy to pull the log out of the bison tube, and two, it makes it easier to wind up. Just a little thought for that. Next one is, and I'll put this on. This is something that you're starting to see the modern age, battery cases. Now, for a lot of phones out there, a couple of years ago, battery cases were the way of keeping your smartphone topped off. They were built right into the battery casing, made it heavy. So a lot of people thought it was great for geocaching, but not necessarily great for regular use. So they now have this that they have. These are battery rechargers. This one is actually, I believe, I want to say 30 or 50,000 milliamps. Comes in a 1 amp and 2.4 amp outlet into it. Basically, this cable comes out and you can use it to either charge it or to put it in and charge up to 2 devices at the same time.
That thing is freaking awesome.
Yes, we use this when we go out and play Ingress and go out geocaching as well. It literally keeps the phone topped off at all times. You can charge a tablet with this. It's that strong. And also you can recharge your smartphone about 5 times. So it holds a huge amount. They come in different companies, different sizes, different lengths. I would highly recommend that you find the ones with the 2.4 amp output with it, because that is more up to date with a lot of the modern day phones, charging them relatively quickly and efficiently. And a lot of times we will go out, like I said, where we're playing Ingress or where we're walking along trail doing geocaching. I just keep my phone sits very nicely on top of this where it's connected, and it just keeps the phone topped off while we're going all day. I don't have a problem with it. So battery chargers are awesome when it comes to that. Let's see, utility mirrors. There are several. The ones that I like, I'm showing in the video right here. This is a telescopic inspection mirror. These are awesome when it comes to bridges and a lot of those nooks and crannies that you can, you're looking for that geocache and you just can't find it. And there's a zillion places to look, or underneath a bridge, things like that. Inspection mirrors are awesome. It goes down to and folds very into a small place that you can keep into your pack. They're great when it comes to looking for geocaches. I also keep with me a compact mirror, and this is just a standard. I think I got this at Revlon when I was working for them. And basically, it has the high beam and the low beam mirrors on here. This is fantastic for a couple of things. One, it's great because it's a wider mirror, and you get much more if you're looking for that guardrail cache and looking down the entire line of it. They're fantastic for that. This is also great for signaling because it's got a very, very wide mirror base, and you're able to, if you need to, you can literally, and this is the trick that I learned with it, if you see a plane, some people, a car that you're trying to signal, and you want to line it up and you don't know if it's measuring with them, it's very simple. All you have to do is put your hand, and when the sunlight is hitting the hand and it lines up between the mirror and the person you're trying to get attention of, that, and you move your hand away, that's the way you know that you're going into the right direction. So just a little tip for you when it comes to mirrors and signaling. You can actually get signal mirrors and go that way as well, where you can literally look through a little hole and line up that way.
I like that telescopic magnet too.
Yes, go for it.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Okay. There are two different types of telescopic ways that I use for getting to geocaches that are out of reach. Matter of fact, there's some geocaches I put out purposely on that where you need a gizmo to get to it. One, you can get them in many different forms. Sometimes they have rare earth magnets on the end of them. This is literally about the size of a pen. You can keep right in your pack that way. It has a magnet that I think lifts about 10 pounds. So it doesn't have to be extremely, a very powerful magnet. But the cool thing is it's on a telescopic pole that can go out about 3 feet. This is perfect for those oopses when you drop the cache container into a drain, or if it's so far back you got to reach for it. If it's magnetic, it will pick that up and just pull it straight for you. The other part that works really good is this guy here. This is the same principle. It's about the size of a pen. It's got a J-hook with a ball on the end of it. This is actually used for pulling wires in the walls. So if you're trying to reach it, again, it's got a 3-foot telescopic reach. Actually, this is almost 4 foot with the little J-hook there. This is great for going in and reaching and pulling out something. So this is actually made. If you go to your hardware store, it's about $4, and it is made for pulling wires in walls, and it makes perfect for finding geocaches.
Mm.
All right. Why don't we do one more because we're running just a little bit late, and we will move on from there.
A backup GPS unit.
Yes, that's always a good one to have just in case. If you're out and your smartphone goes, absolutely having a backup GPS is the way to go when it comes for that. Again, we have so many items from first aid kits to orange vests to grabbers to we talked about this guy here before. I'll show this real quick. Here we have, this is kind of looks like a snake that you clean your drain out with. It's about 3 feet long, and it's got a plunger on the end here, and it has one of those pickle grabber ends to it that if you push in, it goes in. You can grab for a geocache that way. Again, you never know until you need these things. I think it came with a magnet and something else for $5 at the hardware store. We got a whole list, and we're going to put that in with the show notes, and we could go on for another hour with these, but I don't want to go too much. Tons of stuff. Tons and tons and tons. And again, it'll be in the show notes for that. All right, Miss Amy, good stuff. Lots and lots to go from there, but we're going to move on. Hope you enjoyed all this. Hope you got some golden nuggets. And again, we'll go over another list in a future show. Let's move on. Paid for by the Two Cats in a Bag Company. All right, Miss Amy, you're on.
Yeah. Your support helps keep all of the GeoSnippits Reboot shows running along. Please consider making a PayPal donation through the link on our website to support our efforts and your ongoing entertainment. From all of us at GeoSnippits, we thank you. And so you know, All of that was over a box.
All right, real quickly because we are running late. We have our patron program. We absolutely love and thank all the patrons that participate with us each and every week. I literally got the notice today. Both sets of path tags are shipped. We should get them within the next 5 to 7 days. So the patron path tags are en route, and also Team HeadHardHat path tags are en route for all the fine folks up to the point that they show up on our doorstep. If you become a patron or are a patron, you will not only receive the patron path tag, you will also receive a Team HeadHardHat path tag as well. For our thank you for putting up for how long this took. Literally got the notice. I was getting worried. I was at the point of calling them. Got the notice today that they have shipped. So we hopefully by next week's show we'll be able to show you both sets of path tags, and we will get those out as soon as possible to all our patrons. So if you want to get in on this, become a patron. Click on the patron path tag reward. You get all the other ones nested that come with it. And again, we thank each and every one of you who are patrons. You literally help keep the lights on. You're a contributing factor to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast universe. We can't thank you enough for everything you do because you literally help us keep the show going. So thank you so much. And for the people that are considering it, now's the time to do it. But anytime you want to be a patron, we really do appreciate it. All right, let's move on. Alrighty, it is time for the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cache Dash. Let me explain what that is. We have some of the best geocaching companies out there, and they want you fine folks to know about their products and services that they provide. To do that, they send to us products that they provide, and we showcase them and turn them into prizes for you fine folks each and every week. That's the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cache Dash. And last week was episode 108. And Miss Amy, if you'd go over the prize, I will show that to the fine folks.
All right. From GX Proxy, it's a grab bag with a proxy coin, a whistle, and a bison tube.
Yes, and it comes in a very delicately and surprisingly wonderful Ziploc bag, of which we provide for you for said grab bag. You guys really love this, and we're going to get more of these. I've been talking with Beverly, and so we got other stuff coming. So yes, this is a grab bag of geocaching greatness, and this goes to our winner tonight for episode 108. What was the question?
The question was, who is regarded as the father of Geo Woodstock? And the answer is Joe GPS.
Yeah, I actually had the pleasure last time I was down in Florida for Geo Woodstock 11. I had the pleasure of meeting Joe GPS, who is one of the first creators of Geo Woodstock, and that was our answer. So what we have here, and I'm going to bring this up onto our screen. I'm going to go over to camera 2 here while we're doing this, as I bring up my tablet. I have on here, as this comes up, there we go. Ever since I got Lollipop on this thing, it is slow. Anyways.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. I hate that.
As this goes, I have a random number generator. And as this actually tries, there we go, thank you. Man, the blinding speed is awesome. So what I have here is a random number generator, and it has the number between 1 and the total number of correct answers that we have from our people. And up on the screen here, I have all of them listed out here. Miss Amy, even though she is not here in the GeoSnippits Reboot studios, has her own magic quarter that she's going to flip, and she's going to tell me either heads or tails. If it is heads, and say the number is 4, it's not 4, I am going to count down 4 from the top of the list. and we will have our winner from that. If it's tails, I will go from the bottom of the list up and actually find out our winner from there. So, Miss Amy, are we going from the top down or from the bottom up? Or did you lose that quarter?
It is heads, and no, I did not.
It's heads. All right, so I'm going to count from the top down. All right. And our winner is, let's see if we've got the right answer. It says Joe GPS. And our winner goes to Forest Fans, Beth. Forest Fans is a GPS name. Beth is her first name. Beth, congratulations for your winner of that. And I am going to put that in our show notes here very quickly. And Beth, you are a winner. Beth, if you would be so kind as to send us your email or your address so that we can get this in the mail out to you, we would greatly appreciate it. And congratulations again to Beth, Forest Fans, for being our winner for episode 108. And hang on for 1 second as I get the rest of this information in here. Otherwise, I am going to be a lost puppy. All righty. There we go. Good stuff. See, that's why it works so much better when Amy's here. Things go a lot smoother, I'm just saying. All right. That's our winner for that. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. That goes that way. Okay, there we go. All right, so Beth, congratulations. So you say, so wait a minute, I want to get in here. I can't win it if I don't play.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. So how do I become eligible to win a prize for the Cash Stash? Well, it's very simple. All correct answers must be in by 12 noon Eastern Time, Wednesday, April 22nd, so next Wednesday, to be eligible for tonight's episode. Email it to gsreboot@gmail.com, gsreboot@gmail.com, subject Q1, episode 109. All correct answers will be put in a drawing. Some weeks for the people in the live chat room, we have a second prize. Sorry, not tonight, but we only got another week or two before April's out, so I think that little bird's going to be spoiling it out and ratting out on me and saying that when we're going to have that next one where we give a prize out live right then, right there on the show, might be next week, I'm just saying. All right, Miss Amy, question for episode number 109. Why don't we tell them what the prize is, and this is a good one.
Oh, my gosh. I just saw it, and I was like, oh, my God.
Yep.
From GX Proxy, it is the Pica Geo coin. Oh, my gosh.
Is gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
We actually have a collection of the Pica Geocoins ourselves, and these are some of our favorites. The Pica and the legend of the Pica, there's a whole story that goes behind it, and this geocoin reflects this legend, and it is awesome, and it is beautifully done. It is gorgeous. There's Swarovski crystals that are in this, and it is just absolutely amazing. This is a absolute must-have that you should have in your geocoin collection. And the cool thing is you don't have to worry about sending it out into the wild, which I would not do, because you also get a matching proxy coin to go with it to do that. So you get both coins for tonight's prize for episode 109. Miss Amy, what's the question?
Question is, the Pica bird is also referred to with another, more commonly known bird. What is it more commonly called?
Yep, the Pica bird's called something else. What is it? We'll find out next week. Get your answers in by Wednesday, and we will see who wins that amazing set of geocoins. Those things are just awesome. Really, really cool. We want to thank Beverly at GX Proxy for all the things that she donates, and just absolutely fantastic stuff. And we want to thank all our sponsors that help keep the Geocaching Cash Stash going. Thank you very much. All right, folks. Awesome stuff. Let's move on. Well, this has been definitely an interesting experience, and I have to be honest, Darlene, I much prefer having you next to me, even though I get arm Tourette's. It is not the same not having you here with me, and I miss you terrible. So thank you for all the stuff that you've done, sweetheart. This is awesome. We'd like you fine folks to let us know what you think about the show, and send in some contributions of your fancy gadgets that you use when you go out geocaching. We'll add them to the list. And again, we'll have the list of all the items that we talked about and a bunch more in the show notes tonight. Also, please consider becoming a patron. When I say that you help keep the lights on for the show, I am not kidding. We need your help. The monies that get accumulated, we have monies that we need to pay during the month, and the big bills hit towards the end of the month, or end of the year, I should say, and it comes back sooner than you think. It allows us to build up enough money so that we can do that. So thank you for becoming a patron, and we're finally getting our pass tags in. I can't wait to show them. Hopefully next week. We'll see what happens. And finally, tell other geocachers about the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast and all the tutorial wonderfulness that we do each and every week for you. If you get any bit of value out of this, let us know. Send us in information through gsreboot@gmail.com. Tell other geocachers, hey, this show's a lot of fun. It's family friendly. You get a lot of great information, and you find out how Amy gets to, keep Andy straight. It's awesome. So go ahead and check that out. All right, Miss Amy.
We want to thank our sponsors, cash-advance.com and coinsandpins.com. We want to thank Andy HeadHardHat Smith and everyone watching in the chat room. Please keep those comments coming in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Absolutely. Again, special thanks to wife Amy for being such a trooper with a zillion cats, 2 Newfoundlands, a partridge, a pear tree, and a goldfish. I'm just saying, thank you, honey, for putting up and being able to make up for the show, because I guarantee they wouldn't want to hear me drone all day. You keep the spice going. All right, good stuff. We got some great shows coming for you coming up. Geo Woodstock's another biggie. We're going to see about getting some special guests on. Great things coming up in the not-too-distant future. Make sure you stick with us and check out each and every week. We greatly appreciate it. And as we like to say out in the GeoSnippet studios and parts unknown, see you out on the trails, folks. Bye-bye. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippits.com. The video version of our show is available on YouTube, and the audio version is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please leave us your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com, visit us through our social media sites, or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519, or visit our website Send Voicemail tab. GeoSnippits Reboot is a HeadHardHat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. This show is copyright 2015 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. And clear. All right, folks. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show. We had a great time. Thank you so much for stopping on by. And good luck for next week for that Pica GeoCoin. They are fantastic. And, yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up leading to Geo Woodstock that we hope you get involved with as well. A lot of cool surprises, a lot of good things. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be ending the broadcast here. Have a safe week. The weather's nuts out there. Be safe out there. Be careful out there. And we will see you next week on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Bye-bye, folks.